Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to my ad hoc ranting program. Today's subject is economics where it hurts, or negative utopia, which is being conducted as we speak. Those evil creatures conjured from hell, they are trying to achieve it. And while you're looking and seeing and observing, but you can't see, right? So you all know about the story of using the stock market as well as the White House, as well as the Congress and the Senate, and stimulus, raising debt limits, executive orders, genius tax, or whatever it is. And if Robert Mugabe gave you a certificate that you're a Holocaust survivor, you become a Bogdan. There are those insects that burrow under the skin, and just basically that's it. Dragons, a lizard eye cabal of Komodo dragons in New York and here and there. Oh man, I mean, this world is going so and so. But you all heard me rant about that, the facts and so on. But today I want to bring something to your attention that is unique, and everybody is doing, but they're not observing. They cannot see what's going on, because humans, like humans, they see humans, and they don't behave like predators, right? So you get someone, an Israeli man, who's dead already. He establishes something called Walmart, right? Walmart? No, I don't know about that. Let me spell it for you. Tram low, right? By mass, what? And then you get something like the Amazon rainforest, right? Amazon, right? But let's take this this like mega store, right? The trend of modern day mega store. When it started, I think it was like JCPenney and stuff like that, and it comes up and then it's dropped intentionally, and something else come back up again, and while this is happening, a lot of those creatures who fix themselves, like if you imagine a river, right? The economy, imagine it as a river, right? As a river flowing, like major river like the Nile or the Amazon, or the Tsetse River. That's like not the fly Tsetse fly, but the Tsetse River in China. Those fucks, or I'm sorry, those creatures from hell are like a dam that reaches to the cloud, and they only they trap everything, and they allow only what they want to allow, and whatever is little for the animal farm to be restored. Who's managing all that? Moses the Cook. Oh, I'm not exaggerating. Give me a second. So go to that tram wall or whatever it is, right? And then you see there's certain type of bread, there's certain type of ice cream, there's certain type of clothes, there blah 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 blah. But then next to it, eventually, if you're a manufacturer that is not part of that conjured class of people, right? You're no longer going to be able to sell your goods. It says, for example, I think you cannot buy or sell until you have the mark of the beast. Remember that? Believe me, this is true now. This is what's happening now. I go around and I cannot buy anything except from those mega stores, big stores, right? And those big stores which were established before that really prominent takeover and like a major move or upheaval of markets and economies and so on, they were scuttled, they were destroyed, such as Dominic's, such as Cup Foods, such as Kmart, blah blah. All these stores which had been owned at least partially by Americans. Non-Zion Americans, or if they're Zion, they're the superficial Zion. This is a very complex concept, by the way. You think they allow you and brother you and bring you in? No. Think again. Anyways, so now take a bread, for example. I used to go buy a bread of certain type, Pepperidge Farm, right? And then suddenly, next to it, you would begin to see something BB, BB. I don't want to spell the name, right? And then that takes a the prominence of the shelf, and then that Pepperidge Farm, gets tucked on the side. And it's right there, the psychology. I call it the tram wall or Walmart psychology, right? And then you're there looking at it, and you're not there like not everybody is like I am. You're staring at the shelf, analyzing what is what, and so on and so forth. Everything is made in China, right? And there's so much psychology that they're influencing what you buy and what you do not buy. Now, if you look at the BB bread, right, which is say 15 grains, right, and then Pepperidge Farm, which was 15 grain, that's before it. Well, that's what I know. I don't know who owns who, but from what I am seeing there, somebody with big time psychology, evil like devil some psychology, like psychotic shit, right, is trying to bury one while bringing forth another thing. There's a problem with that. What's the problem? Is they're the same look, the same plastic bag, the same bread, 15 grain, and so basically what happened is those new BBs stole everything from Pepperidge, and now they're pushing them backward, and then bringing their own forward to the front, right? And then people who are coming there to buy bread, they just pick up whatever is in front of them, right? Humans are not. When humans become analytical, they don't go very deep. But if they don't pay attention to that, like. So now I just gave you an example. That's the case all over the store. And now when it started, I don't know how true is that. And I'm guilty too because I go shop there sometimes for cheap stuff. Now I'm going to change that very soon. They force the manufacturers, such as Pepperidge Farms or whoever it is that is not owned by, those goyims, sub-ape humans, like manufactured bread. Oh man, that's a problem. So they steal whatever they produced, ideas, manufacturing process, contents, and they replicate it because why? They already have stolen money by way of stock market and Obama and Trump and so on and so forth. And then eventually they push them backward, and then, guess what? So you get the game, right? So they force the manufacturers in order because now people go to buy at Walmart, right? And I heard reports saying that some 325 million customers shop at Walmart. That's power, folks. That's power. And then now they force the manufacturers. If you're a manufacturer, they force you to sell them at certain price, so they in turn can sell your product cheaper than say other like Target stores, like other stores that are diminishing, right? Those stores that are diminishing because they're goyim, like they're sub-ape humans, right? That like me, I'm proud, of course, I'm proud of being so and so. So when you do that, because you want your product, you want to sell your products, you have a manufacturing facilities, you have business going on, you employ people, and but eventually you are trapped into this Walmart 1984 Walmart, right? Or tram wall, right? Go fuck yourselves, fuckers. I'll say it anytime, any day, and it's the truth. That's all there's to it. Anyways, so eventually you don't just you are not forced to make less money. Your business begin to shrink and diminish. Why? Because somebody else just imparted the Walmart entity, that Zion, imparted the image of your business and its substance and so on to somebody else. Like one of those Komodo dragons in New York or Tel Aviv or Tehran or somewhere else, right? That's what it is, folks. And then eventually Walmart is forcing, and I'm making, you go all over Walmart, no matter what, you go to the food section, you go to the clothes section, whatever it is, it's the same practice. Even the medicine, you go to buy some antibiotic ointment, right? And you would see next to it great value, right? You go to the ice cream, great value. You go to this, great value, great value, great value. And the name is great value, right? and that has like psychological influence. The other day, I buy some major brands, say fiber, right? Supplement. It's very good, for your health. But then one day I just went and bought this great value, which is made by Walmart. Now they imitate the others, right? And try to push them back, and then sell their own brand now, right? And then as soon as I started taking this great value, whatever it is, I began to be sick. Like I started getting like all kind of sickness and so on and so forth. What do they put in it? I don't know. But whatever it is, folks, you pay the extra couple of dollars for those old, say, fiber supplement brands, and you will be on the healthy side. Believe me. And this is only an example. Tram wall, and their follow-ups, like what's their name? The club of the Sams, of the Samwells. That's usually next to it. That's your typical New World Order. They trap the customers, they trap the manufacturers, they trap the vendors, and then they establish something parallel after they steal their ideas, they steal their business, they steal their looks, they steal their processes, they steal their inventions, and so on. And eventually one diminishes and the other one rises, right? So, therefore, this is a fact, folks, in 1984. Now, that's only a tram wall or Walmart, right? You go to Amazon, the rainforest, where all those indigenous Indians live, in Seattle too, right? Seattle. And you see much worse than that. These two entities plus other entities as well. They're not just mass trapping customers. They're mass trapping and destroying manufacturers. They are destroying jobs. Why? Because they are forcing you to go online. And online, so they destroyed the retail industry. They stole the manufacturing industry. And they are basically plotting, like their approach to the economy of the world, and America in particular, and Western Europe, is earth scorching, literally meaning, there's no longer retail industry outside of those, or if there is any, it's really minuscule, it's meaningless. And if they continue to do what they do, I don't see anything else happen. I don't see anyone remaining in the field, all right? And obviously they are very angry because they cannot go. So for example, if an ant somewhere on the street, or a squirrel, how squirrels, about this time in September, October, they begin to gather those nuts and so on, and they prepare for the winter. They are conspiring now, those Komodo dragons of Tel Aviv and Moscow and Tehran, and how do they come and confiscate the nuts that squirrels gather, and then force them to buy online, right? From their online stores and so on. So online, what is online? You used to go to a store and there's a clerk, a cashier, there is a stackers, we call them suckers, I did all kinds of jobs, or now you have a small virtual machine with a software that handles, that handles the job of what Siri employees. They don't care, right? Now here's the deal. It used to be like you made much as a retailer, as manufacturers, you made much less money, right? You made profit, but not as much, right? So that made it possible for others to establish business, and that actually created jobs. So there's a cycle, folks. It's like an aquifer, right? There's a cycle. So long there are people who got job, they are able to buy, and then they're, I don't mean to lecture you on that, but what it is it's a symbiotic relationship between the consumer and the retailer. Now, those people are destroying the job market, right? Because like I said, it used to be a physical server, right? Some of them we call them pizza boxes, e-commerce and ordering software and shipment, fulfillment, you name it, right? But now, one of those single machines handles the job of 100 employees that used to work and get money, get paid and raise families and buy houses. And that's not the case anymore. A lot of people are suffering because of a number of things. Number one, there's that like a gigantic dam that's blocking the financial system and siphoning off the vast majority of it to their own folks on account of America, on account of the world, right? At the same time, they're blocking everything else, those who are actually in that world where they used to be like outside of this giant thing, right? They're being diminished surely but slowly. And that also explains why China, their China, like their cousins and brothers in Shanghai, the Sassoons and so on, they basically shipped all the jobs, all the middle class, all the manufacturing, all they shipped it to China, right? They're making a lot of mistakes, of course, believe me. And where they're going is really basically that gigantic thing that they're trying to destroy. If it's in the ocean, that's already on its side, and it's gonna go down into that Marianas Trench. You can bet your money on that sooner or later. But that's not our subject. The subject is not. You notice, that they corner the manufacturing in China. They corner the manufacturers and now transfer their business illegally, illegitimately, of course, into their own. They siphon off trillions of dollars on account of the world and then give it to their own use. Like, for example, those Komodo dragons. They're not born Komodo dragons, right? They're born like small dragons, small lizards, right? And they secure them money and so as you can see, the idea of this very small group of demons, I'm sorry, Jews, trying to own the world, right? And then make everybody else back into the animal farm. Not just that, now they keep you busy. How do they keep you busy? They establish what's called terrorist organizations. And they send you to the Middle East to kill innocent people in the millions. And do you remember when this guy, Trump, supposedly he killed that Qasem Soleimani in 2018 or 2019 or whenever, right? It's a lie, folks. The guy was killed in 2016 in northern Syria, probably Aleppo. The Syrian rebels were defending Aleppo and its other parts of the country against the alliance of Israel, which is the Syrian regime, the Ayatollahs, Russia's, ISIS, Qaeda, Muslim Brotherhoods, J Nusra, and these guys were defending, and they beat the shit out of them, right? I mean, basically, your Wagner turned out to be not a musician at all. The other Wagner of Germany is far better, right? I don't know about him. There are indication of him of being a mixed race between Russian and Israeli, right? At any rate, they killed that Qasem Soleimani. Not that they knew where he is. I think he was sitting in a place where a shell came on the location, like some kind of a shell, or he was supposedly going in an APC, armored protection or personnel carrier, and he got an RPG or something like that. And they go manufacture all this fucked up story about Trump killing him. Trump is a brother of Ayatollah, is a brother of Netanyahu, is a brother of post-Stalin, is a brother of Xi Jinping, is a brother of Macron, is a brother of Johnson, is a brother of Queen Elizabeth, is a brother of Sisi, is a brother of Abdullah, is a brother of Fox. I'm not exaggerating. I'm being conservative here. But that's what it is. You can see it, the China, the blocking of the world financial system, and basically routing that completely. And then there is that manufacturing and industry and ownership of manufacturing and industry and retail and so on, and how it's being transferred slowly but surely, provided for by the stimulus, by raising debt limits, by whatever, all these bills that come out on daily basis in the White House and then forwarded to the stock market. And that also is coupled with this thing called, virus thing, this virus thing lately, pandemic thing, right? Oh, you have no idea how much that is related to what we're talking about here. Or something else, cryptocurrency. Oh, you have no idea. What basically this 1984 thing, and then what is it? Brave New World and Brave Deadly World. That dark deadly world and Brave whatever it is, and WE by Zamyatin, Russian, and then there are many of that, right? It's been happening in front of you folks, but I tell you what. they will never arrive at that conclusion. You know, the crux and the of the situation, or the top of the mountain, right? You know, what's his name? Martin Luther King, Luther, right? Whom I think his brother, this little fuck, Jackson, killed him. I think he's the one who. Anyways, that's not my business. Well, it's my business, but not the subject now. The top of the mountain? Oh, they'll never get there. No, no, no. Oh, no, no. They miss so many things, folks. And now it's so big, it's gonna crash with a big bang, right? And they will never arrive at that point, at that conclusion. However, the result of it is really catastrophic on human level, on humanity and Earth level. When they collapse, and they will collapse, because the movement, this train have been so loaded, you know, so overloaded, it's no longer moving anymore. And if it's moving, it's like it's already derailing here and there. But the fact of the matter is, by the time it crashes, it will be. It's going to be. There will be new world, not that the one that they're talking about. No, no. There will be a world that is really devastated. I mean, I don't wanna. I'm not saying this is a prophecy, but there's something called prophecy, or what emanates from within, and there's something that is logical and makes sense, right? What I'm seeing is basically a Stone Age thing, almost. We know, not a Stone Age thing, but even it's gonna be bad, folks, because these guys have decided on. You know, they've tried number of times. They tried through the Mongols. They tried through the Shiites, they tried through communism, they tried through Crusaders, they tried like in what's called today Muslim movements. They're anything but Muslims, like the Ayatollahs, like the Muslim Brotherhood, and they've been trying, and there's something going on now, right? They apparently now they wanted to avoid all the past mistakes, which resulted in the death of hundreds of millions, right? But now this is no different. However, this now is apparently going to be is going to be catastrophic. You know, there will be a new world. It's not as healthy. No, there will be a lot of destruction. There will be a lot of. Let's put it this way: the way my logic, not my when I tell you it's from within, that's certain, right? When I tell you it's logic, it's highly likely, like maybe 99%. This is going to be problematic, folks. That's the way I'm seeing it. They have, with their haste and their rush for money and dollars and destruction, and making sure that Moses the Crow brings back Animal Farm under his control again, and so on and so on. They missed a lot of things. They overlooked and overstepped or skipped a lot of very fundamental facts about humanity and the human psyche and the human feelings, and so on and so forth. Basically, the world will be left in two states. Either we, the Goyim, I'm being part of those Goyims, and I'm proud of it, and now will be like a world from scratch. Or they will be left on their own, and that's when they will realize they managed to leave themselves behind, and they're all alone. Have a nice day, my friends, but that's economics where it hurts. And guess what? Every time you see the stock market go up, right? That's Trump or Obama or now Biden. You know, they go like this, you know, or like this, or like this, or I think that means like 1 trillion, 2 trillion. I don't know what it means, but that's when you see them doing this, you know, it means like they shelled someone. Another point I want to make, you know, the gas is what, $4 or $5 now, or $6. I told you before, it's to benefit Putin's because they're supporting Putin, you know, and taking over Europe, just like Iran is taking over the Middle East and making its people live like animals. Putin was supposed to take over Europe, and they will make the Germanics and the Scandinavians live like animals, similar to the Sunnis, right? Fate of the Sunnis, right? They're not successful there. They will not be successful here either. That comes from within. That comes from within. That's a prophecy. You have my word on that. But now, that said, once they're in charge, that's it, folks. Now they own the oil. The oil was a big thing in the world. Now they own in Iran and in Iraq and Syria. And Now Lebanon, there's some apparently, not as much, but and Arabia too, right? MBSs and Zayids and whoever it is. Oh, right now, people in the Middle East are living like dogs. Those who remain under the hegemony of the Ayatollahs, those rabbis in Iran and Syria and Iraq, and Arabia and here and there, and in Egypt too. Egypt apparently is sliding down the drain. And Libya and here, oh man, oh man. I remember this guy, oil, energy, right? Now even the locals, they struggle in buying like gas or why? Because now the owner is very fucking stingy, right? And they throw something similar to them, to farmers or ranchers, throwing fodder or like hay or whatever it is for their animals, right? Like cows and cattle and so on and so forth. That's how they feel. That's how they intend to do to you, Germanics and Scandinavians. Uh, have a nice day, my friends. Bye now.